Good morning, students. Today we will discuss chapter 7 of history, that is New Religious Ideas. Introduction. By the 6th century BC, religious worship in India had become extremely ritualistic and society was bound by rigid caste rules. Frequent wars among the Mahajanapadas had created an atmosphere of mistrust and political conflict. The people were not satisfied with what they had and were always trying to increase their wealth. Many thinkers gave up worldly life and went to forests to meditate in peace and seek enlightenment. Some of them shared their newfound knowledge, spread new religion and philosophical ideas and won followers. We know about these new ideas from the Upanishads and from Buddhist and Jain religious texts. So first we will discuss about Upanishads. Upanishad literally means approaching or sitting near, or in other words, to sit near a guru or teacher who is revered. The Vedic texts are called the Upanishads. Upanishads are in the form of conversations between the teachers and students. They are mostly written in the form of dialogues or debates between the teacher and the student or the disciple. Upanishad stressed on the value of right belief and knowledge. There are about 108 Upanishads. The Upanishads do not give much importance to the Vedic gods and rituals. They give ultimate importance to Brahma, the one supreme power or universal soul. According to Vedic belief, when a person dies, his Atma, that is soul, is reborn in another living form. As a result, the Atma remains bound to a cycle of repeated deaths and births. The Upanishads state that the Atma can attain moksha, that is, ultimate freedom from the cycle of death and rebirth, when it unites with Brahma. This can be achieved through the complete understanding and continuous awareness of Brahma. The Upanishad thinkers were mostly learned Brahmins and kings. Poor people had few opportunities to take part in such debates and discussions. Satyakama Japala, a great thinker and philosopher, was the son of a low-caste woman called Japala. He was taught by Rishi Gautam, who, being impressed by Satyakama's truthfulness about his low birth, accepted him as a student. Later, Japala went on to become one of the best-known thinkers of that time. Rabindranath Tagore's poem Brahman, written in the modern period, also describes this episode. Some women thinkers were also there. One such woman was Gargi. She was famous for her learning and active participation in debates that were held in royal courts. 4 stages of life. In Upanishad times, the life of an upper caste man was divided into 4 stages called ashrams. These were brahmacharya, that is student life; grastha, that is family life; vanaprastha, that is retirement to the forest for the meditation; sannyasa, that is giving up everything. Going through these ashrams was thought to be the best way to live one's life, but this was not rigidly followed. Buddhism. The founder of Buddhism was Siddhartha, who was also known as Gautam Buddha. He was born at Lumbini near Kapilavastu around 563 BC. Initially, he led a luxurious life. It was said that Prince Siddhartha was moved by 4 sights that he saw. He saw an old man, a sick man, and finally a dead body. These sights evoked a disturbance within him. Finally, he saw an ascetic who was unaffected by pain, sorrow, and misery around him. Siddhartha decided to find solutions to these misery and sorrow. At the age of 30, Siddhartha left the comforts of his home and wandered from place to place in search of knowledge. For many days he sat under a peepal tree at Bodh Gaya in Bihar and ultimately attained enlightenment and came to be known as Buddha, that is, the Wise One. Buddha then went to Sarnath near Varanasi, where he gave his first sermon. He then wandered for 40 years preaching Buddhism. For the rest of his life, he travelled on foot. He visited many places, taught several people, till he left his body at Kushinagar. Teachings of the Buddha. The Buddha taught in Pali, the language of the ordinary people, so that everybody could understand his message. The Buddha preached that suffering in life is caused by desire. Buddha advised his disciples to follow the middle path, that is, neither to give up all worldly possessions nor to live in luxury, to overcome desire. Buddha preached equality of all human beings and respect for all living creatures. He rejected the caste system as well as all religious rituals. He believed in the theory that one has to face the consequences of one's karma, that is, action, either in this life itself or in the next. He did not discuss God. The Buddha preached ahimsa, that is, non-violence. He forbade lying, stealing, killing, and drinking. Spread of Buddhism. Buddhism gained prominence during the rule of King Kanishka. Under his patronage, the 4th Buddhist Council was held in Kashmir. Famous poet Ashwaghosha, who composed Buddha Charita, a biography of the Buddha, also lived in the court of Kanishka. During this period, books and records of Buddhism began to be written in Sanskrit. Buddhism underwent several changes during this period. The religion was firmly divided into 2 sects, the Hinayana and the Mahayana. Some rulers like Ashoka and Kanishka sent Buddhist missionaries to different parts of India and also to foreign lands like Sri Lanka, China, and Central Asia. Buddhism acquired a large following in these regions. Afghanistan, the region of Bactria and Gandhara came under Buddhist influence. Jainism. Vardhamana Mahavira was the 24th and the last Tirthankara. Mahavira was a Kshatriya prince of the Lichavis, a clan that was associated with Vijji Sangha. Mahavira was born at Kundalavana near Vaishali in Bihar in 540 BC. On reaching the age of 29, Mahavira renounced his home and went to live in a forest. To attain knowledge, he wandered from place to place. Finally, after 12 years, he attained Kaivalya, that is, perfect knowledge. He was regarded as Jina, that is, conqueror, and his followers were called Jans. Mahavira travelled far and distant places preaching his message. Mahavira died at Pavapuri near Rajgir at the age of 72. Main teachings of Mahavira. Mahavira's teachings were simple. He believed that a person's position in life depends on karma, that is, action of the previous life. He believed that anyone, even a low-born person, could attain moksha. He preached ahimsa and forbade his followers to cause harm or injury to any living beings. Mahavira called upon his disciples to lead good and pure lives. He instructed his followers not to lie, steal, or kill. Mahavira encouraged his followers to lead austere lives. Jain men who gave up worldly life were not even allowed to wear clothes. Mahavira was against rituals and sacrifices. He preached at Magad, Kosala and Vediha in North India. Jainism also became popular in Rajasthan, Gujarat, Malwa and South India. Sangha. The Buddha and Mahavira set up organizations called Sangha for those who gave up worldly life and became monks in order to attain enlightenment. Buddhist monks were called bhikshu, that is beggars, because they survived on alms. A woman could join the Sangha with the permission of her husband. Nuns were called bhikshuins. The monks and nuns led very simple life. They spent much of their time on religious studies and meditation. They wandered about to spread their faith among people. They had to abide by the rules of their Sangha. The rules of the Buddhist Sangha are contained in a text called Vinaya Pitaka. Within the Sangha, members enjoyed equal status without consideration of their caste or wealth. Monasteries, monks and nuns did not stay at one place for long. During the long monsoon, when traveling was difficult, they took shelter in caves or stayed in temporary homes. In due course, permanent residents called viharas, that is monasteries, were built for them. Separate residences were built for monks and nuns. So students, I hope you have understood the chapter. Thank you.